Hey, Bulldog Club, this is Corey Green. I hope all is well. As you can see, I'm sitting here with a very special guest. We have Coach Bucky McMillan in the house. How you doing, Coach?
Doing good. Glad to be here.
Hey, man, we're glad to have you here, man. First of all, let's say congratulations on a great season. It's been a long time coming. I know you've been here building for 4 years now. And certainly as a basketball alum and an employee now, like I'm very proud of what I've seen out of your program, this team, your staff, and the effort that you all put into being successful. Take a few minutes and reflect, man, and just tell us how you feel about the season and just any thoughts from this past year that you may want to share with our folks.
Yeah, well, first, I just appreciate everyone in Bulldog Nation, from the fans, the boosters, just everybody. Just all year long, the support. And since I arrived here in the middle of COVID.
Yeah.
And wasn't our best season our first year. Support didn't waver. We came back the next year. We won 20-plus games, finished third in the league. The following year, we won a SoCon championship, won 20-plus games. And this year, we win nearly 30 and win 2 championships.
That's right.
And that's what it's all about, taking those steps forward.
Yeah.
Now it's time to take the next step forward.
I agree. I agree. Speaking of that, hey, I want to give a huge thank you to President Taylor and Martin for being able to come together with you, recognizing the moment and stepping up in the moment. We certainly understand the moment you have in your professional career, coming off such success and being such a hot name, and rightfully so. So I want to say thank you for choosing to stay here at Samford. But in that same vein, what is it that you've seen about Samford? What made you believe that this is the place that you should continue building on the program that you've started?
Yeah, well, I want to reiterate what you said, and I'm very thankful to Dr. Taylor, Martin Newton, and all of the people, the board, all that went into that, because they're taking the next step in basketball and making a commitment to our program and our staff, and we appreciate it. But what I saw was great leadership, as we know, from the top, and when you have great leadership, great things can happen. I also know this, for me, it's all about moving forward.
Yes, sir.
It's all about, like, hey, can we make the next step? And the answer to that here at Samford is yes. If the answer was no, then, that's when there's movement.
Yeah.
And I mean that with players. If a player thinks, hey, I can't make the next step here, there's movement.
Right.
And that's everyone's professional career.
That's right.
And this isn't about the next step for me. This is the next step for Samford. And we're at a spot right now where are we going to go backwards or are we going to go forwards? Do we have an opportunity to go forward?
Yeah.
And the answer to that is yes.
Such an opportunity, and a lot of times people don't have the recognition of the moment that you're in, right? And the opportunity that you have to choose to take a part of, and don't acknowledge the consequences of not taking that step. And so when you talk about support, that's a very tangible thing. Yes, we have to do things not only from an academic standpoint, not only from a campus and community standpoint, but from a financial standpoint, to make sure that we have surrounded you and your staff and this program with the most that we can to keep it competitive. I understand the season that you're in now, because I hadn't seen you a lot, because you're always on the road. Now you're recruiting, now you're doing different things. So can you talk to our people about just what you're having to do now in this moment, and how competitive it is out there recruiting, and just the different nature of recruitment in this day and age, man?
Yeah, I mean, it's the toughest time of year for every coach right now. Just the way NCAA's set up, it's unique. I don't wish it on anybody right now. Things you love about the way that things go with college sports, and then there's things that are just very challenging.
Yeah.
What I do know is we're never going to be outworked. So I just got back drove 8 hours one day and drove all night back to be with the recruit, and so we're out there finding the right fits, not just that are good players, but that are good players that fit the way we like to do things, but also the people that fit our university.
Yeah.
And that's very important. That all equates to winning. I don't think we had the most talented team of every game we won this year, but I felt we might have had the best team of all those games.
These are our most consistent and loyal supporters. They've been here through thick and thin. They've seen a lot of stuff in Samford basketball history. But I think they're all proud of what moment we're in now, and don't want it to be a moment. We want this to be who we are. So if you can talk to us about what can this group do to help? What can we do to make sure that we have equipped our coach, our staff, our team, and our players with the biggest advantage that we have? What is it that it takes? Talk to us, man.
Well, when I talk to our staff, we all have responsibilities if we're going to be an elite staff. Our players have responsibilities. But when I talk to our staff, we got a big staff, and it's everything from, it's laid out what your job is. Like, it's laid out. It is written out. This is your job every day. This is the priority of it. Get this done. Everything from this part, hey, I need you. You got to be elite with scouting. Here's how we do the scouting. Here's what's got to be. Bang. You got to be the best in our league at that. You got to be an A+. You got to be the best.
That's right.
Someone else's role over here is going to maybe recruiting. Hey, here's what we're looking for. Here's what I'm expecting. You got to be the best. I expect to have the best players in SoCon every year. All right? Write down, hey, this person may be over here. It could be different. This could be somebody, hey, student manager. Our job is to make sure that we have the cleanest locker room. I mean, well, you can go all the way around. And if everyone does an A+ at their job, all the way around to the coaching, to the on the floor, to the individual workouts, we're going to have a pretty dang good chance to be an A+ program. Well, you ask, talking to the donors.
Mm-hmm.
When I got to Samford was operating at a bottom 3 or 4 budget in the league. And what I noticed was that the universities and the programs were pretty much finishing at the exact order of their budget.
Interesting. That's a fact.
And so just common sense said, well, we got to do more fundraising so that we can have resources so that we can operate at that A+ level in that regard. And we've done a great job with that. We've increased. And I'm not saying we're at the top, but I think we should strive to be at the top of our league because it matters a great deal. It matters. It matters how you travel for a recruit. It matters how your out locker room is. It matters all the way down the line with, you could use any circumstance of your program that's going to require resources.
That's right.
How do you do pregame meal? And like I said, we're not the only school wanting to win. We're not the only school wanting to win. We don't have the only donors that want to win.
Hey, I appreciate you laying that out for us. I really appreciate the mindset of always getting better, always hunting what's next, never being content with just, or sustaining. Sustaining is not a good word even in this era. But I do believe we have the donors that care enough to take us to the next level. And so y'all, listen, he's laid it out clearly. We will come out very quickly and very soon with some initiatives that we have built in, some new initiatives that you all can participate in to ensure that we are that program in the SoCon that is not only the expected champions, but the realized champions, and keeping our name and our team in the top 25. That's what we want to be, is that top 25 program. So you'll hear some things about that coming up. We certainly appreciate what you and your staff and your team have done for our university this year. But like you said, man, it's time to keep this thing going. We got to keep it there and keep building. So there is no going backwards. We're not here to lose anything at all. So y'all listen, it's been a pleasure, Coach. Certainly appreciate your time. Thank you, Bulldog Club, for what you have done, and I thank you in advance for what you will do. Go Bulldogs.